Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In the last video, we built a simple line graph using nodes and conditional edges. In this video, we are stepping into more powerful territory, building a line graph chain that combines four important ideas. First, using chat messages as graph state. Second, integrating a chat model inside a node. Third, binding tools to the chat model. And finally, executing tools called dynamically in the graph. Let's break it all down, understand what each of these components are, why we use them, and how they are implemented. Before we dive into the components, let's understand the flow of what we are building with an example. Imagine you type a message, multiply 5 and 2. The flow goes like this. The graph begins at the start node. Then it immediately moves to our tool calling LLM node. This node passes your message to a group powered chat model that's being configured to use tools. Then the model sees that this message is asking for a calculation. So instead of replying directly, it decides to call the multiply tool. Then the multiply 5, 2 function is called and it will return 10. And finally, the model takes this tool output and replies. That is, the result of 5 times 2 is 10. Now, as we understood about the flow, let's get into the theory of this particular flow. First, messages as state. Rather than passing plain string through the graph, we use structured message like human message, AI message, and tool message. This gives our LLM the ability to understand the full context of a conversation turn by turn. These messages are stored under a single key called messages in the state. To make sure messages accumulate, not override, we use a reducer called add messages. Here how we define it. Or we can use the built-in like this. Next, we have chat models. Chat models is a type of LLM that takes a list of messages as input and return the next message in the conversation. Instead of giving it just a string prompt, we provide full dialogue history. This enables more natural, contextual, and multi-turn conversation. Why we use it? Because the chat model like Brook Llama 3 are designed to understand role, tone, and flow of the conversation, and they work great for assistant-like experiences. We will be using Group's API for this. To use it, we pass a list of messages like this. The model processes the messages and returns a smart response. Next, let's see what are tools. Tools are custom Python functions that your model can call when it needs to interact with external systems like APIs, databases, or calculation. Why do we need tools? Because sometimes the model does not need to guess, it needs to act. Let's say user asks, what is 4 multiplied by 7? Instead of generating a text response, the model should call a function, get the answer and return it. Here is the simple tool. Now we bind that tool to our model like this. Let's test it with a message. The model responds with a structured tool call, including the function name and argument. The function is then executed and the output becomes part of the response. Next we have nodes. In LangGraph, a node is a function. It receives the current state, perform logic like running the model, and return the updated state. Here's a node that runs our model with tools. Each time this node runs, it takes the conversation so far, gets a new message from the model and appends it. Next, let's see how to build the graph. Now, let's wire everything together. We create a graph with one node and two edges. Here is the code. To view the graphical view, we use this code. Now, let's run case 1, normal response. Here is the code and here what we get with respect to this code. Next, case 2, tool call. Here is the code and in this case the model calls the tool, that is multiply 6, 9 and returns the result 54. The state now contains the full message history including the tool call and the response. That's it. In the next video, we will explore multi-node agent flow where each node can have a unique job like memory, planning, or search. Make sure to subscribe, hit like, and turn on notification. You don't want to miss it. Thank you for watching. Keep building smart with LangGraph.